Let me get this pulled up on my computer so I can chit chat with y'all and answer any questions. Now, as you tune in, please say hi in the chat box. Let me know where you're watching from. And give me just a second. Still trying to get this pulled up. There we are. Okay, good. Excellent, excellent. All right. So let's give people a little time to tune in. I don't want to wait too long, but just as a note for anyone watching this later on replay, this is a live event. The whole reason for doing live videos is to be able to chit chat with people, answer questions, say hi, etc. So if that's not your kind of video, then please simply don't watch, okay? Hey Katie, hey Carolyn, hey Barbara, hey Panay. Hey Veronica, hey Margaret. Long time no see, you guys. All right, so we will be using Mixed Media Girl pouring medium. Hey Linda. And I want to do actually a comparison. So some of you were not necessarily on my Facebook Live a few days ago. Hello, the fine art of distraction. I still need to get you a package. I have not forgotten. I've just been busy. And hey Jenny. But this, let me focus. Come on, you can do it. This is not pouring paint. If you'll notice on here, yes, the label still needs to be fixed. But what does that say, you guys? Who can read? This is a not yet released product, okay? But long story short, pretty shortly we'll have Mixed Media Girl acrylic paint, okay? So that's something I'm working on. Yeah. And it said, blah, 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 blah. Words, words, words. It's something that I was playing around with on a Facebook Live a few days ago. And I wanted to kind of play around with it with you guys here so you guys can kind of see it. And I'm hoping to release it within the next month or two, okay, guys? I'm working on it. Hey, Rhonda, thank you so much. I know, super exciting. All right, so I got this dollar roundy. Dollar? I don't even know. I always say dollar roundy, but I could be saying that totally wrong. This is just really cheap acrylic paint. I actually got it from Walmart. Hey, Double Rider Man. So I'm going to kind of do a comparison. And I think I should use a color that I don't have, like a green. Green is fantastic. Let's use this. It says dark green. That's not even like a color. Okay. So we kind of have essentially like a tube paint versus, well, you don't have anything to compare it to really yet. But we're going to see. In terms of like thickness and in terms of mixing it, okay? So I'm going to use this entire little tube here, and I expect it to be rather thick. Now, typically I would put the pouring medium in first because that's the thinner part, but I want to put the paint in so we can see a comparison of the thickness, okay? All right, so here's that green tube paint. So we can put it upside down. It's probably not going to come out. Hasn't even moved much. It's pretty thick, right? Okay. Sorry, I feel like I'm missing questions here. Cheaper paint equals thicker paint equals more pouring medium. Okay, so cheaper has nothing to do with it. There are expensive thick paints. There are expensive thin paints. There are cheap thick paints and cheap thin paints. So price has nothing to do with that. But yes, it will affect how much pouring medium you need to use, okay? All right, so now here is the acrylic paint that I will be releasing, which is definitely thick, but you'll be able to see it is on the thinner side comparatively. Thank you. So you can already see how one flattens out and the other doesn't. So that's one of your first tips to tell if something is thick or thin. So now while it's not thin, it's not like pouring paint, it is running down the cup. All right, so definite Robin, you got to have a little patience here. We're getting to that. We're going to get to the mixing part. But definitely, you can see a very obvious difference, right? So for this one, you will likely need to add more medium. But let's go ahead and I'm going to try to add basically 50-50 medium. I'm not going to be able to measure this exactly because it's not sitting flat, but I'm going to do my best to be at least about there. It's okay. All right, let's start with this white one. Now this, we shouldn't need to add anything else to. So this is pretty good pouring consistency. Right here, I would not recommend adding water. It'll be too thin. Okay? But on this, also, I would like to point out that this pouring medium stirs into the paint very, very easily. Okay. So this even still is not that thin. If you like a thicker pouring paint, this would work out for you. But at this stage on here, I would add either a little bit more pouring medium or a little bit of water. Water or vodka medium. That's a different video. Because I typically like to do 2/3 pouring medium to 1/3 paint. Don't ask me why. That's just the ratio I like. It's the one I found that works best. I get the best reactions. More pouring medium will not dull the paint because it's going to essentially dry clear. It's a non-entity in terms of the color. You may see a slight change when the paint is wet, but not when it's dry. It will not affect the color at all. So hopefully you guys can see that it's already a little more liquid, and this is the pouring consistency that I would be happy with. So I still would not add any water to this. Now let's say I added the pouring medium and it was still too thick. At this point I would add water. I wouldn't keep adding medium, but you could. If the paint is too thick, there is more of a risk of cracking as it dries, but only if it dries too quickly. So it's not something to really worry about. If your paints are cracking as they're drying, 99.9% chance they're just drying too quickly in some way. So when I do a really thick painting, which I have, I will put it where there's zero airflow, zero coldness, zero hotness, zero, just like as much zero as I can, and it dries fine. This color is called dark green, and it is this very cheap acrylic from Walmart. Yeah. Let me just show you guys. I don't know. So some of you were on my Facebook Live, but I had this paper under my painting, and it was so thick right here that it actually took about 4 days to dry, versus around here, it dried within 1 day. So if this had dried any faster, it would have cracked. But I kept it in the cabinet with the doors closed, so no airflow, no... I had to put that there for the hotel guys so they wouldn't touch it. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I'm going to make it into something cool. Yeah, so even if you have super thick paint, you can get around it cracking. Now, certain paints will just crack no matter what, so you kind of got to be a little careful with that. Okay, so now that we've got those mixed up, any questions on any of that? Off topic, but is it a resin type product that is a matte or flat finish rather than glossy? Not resin, but you can always polish it. Like, let's say you have a resin piece, it's super glossy, just take some, even a buffer, but take like a 3000 grit or 1000 grit sandpaper, I would say 1000 or higher, and just do a quick polishing job. You can also go all the way from the bottom up depending on the project, but yeah, you can kind of just buff it. Stone Coat Countertops also does make a top coat that comes in a matte. So that is another option. It's not actually resin. It's actually a different product, but you do your resin and then you roll it on afterwards. So that's an option. Okay. So we're gonna do a couple things here. I have this cup of paint. Now this looks very interesting, but what I did is on, what day was that? I think it was on Saturday. Today's Wednesday. On Saturday, I mixed up a whole bunch of colors just like this, and then I used them in a couple paintings, and then everything that was left I layered into this cup, basically like just like a dirty pour cup. I poured it into here as if I was about to pour it out onto a painting. I didn't, obviously. I put the lid on and then I just put it to the side. So we now have this cup full of leftover paint. It's not quite the same as my usual leftover paints because those are more like this. Those will be more blended because I'm like pouring the cups into each other and letting them drain into each other. So we're going to use this as well with that green, but first we're going to do something with this. Okay, now let me think this through because I don't want to make too much of a mess. I've got plastic under here, but I don't want to have to replace that in 5 seconds. So I might put an additional piece of plastic, or maybe I'll put another paper. I like that. Let's do another paper. So this is not just any paper, by the way. It is the Arteza acrylic pad. So it's a very thick paper, more like watercolor paper. Ideal for acrylic and oil painting. Okay. Well, hello, Lee. Okay. Yeah, a pre-layer cup. All right, so let's get this down here. And I already decided I want to do this on this canvas. You know, I think I'm going to raise this up ahead of time. This is a 7 by 14 inch canvas, also from Wally World. So I'm going to use my painter's pyramids, painter's tripods, whatever you want to call them, these little guys. That way the paint will be able to just drip under onto this paper. And then when I'm done with this piece, I'm just going to scooch it out of the way, paper and all. Some of it might go off the paper. I acknowledge that. It's a little bit long for this paper, but I think we should have at least most of it go on there. We'll find out. Hey, Trisha. No silicone. Nope. I don't even have silicone. All right. I'm going to quickly set up a second camera so I can get some real material. I don't mean real as in not fake. I mean real as in reels. Let's see if this even works. All right, I'm gonna move this so it's a little better into the camera in multiple directions. Can you guys see that okay? All right. Here we go. So I already kind of decided that I want to do a traveling tree ring here. Pretty exciting. We actually have, I don't know if you can see that, but some pretty cool reactions in the cup. Look at that. I think this is too much paint for this canvas size. So I may have some left over for the next one. And hopefully it's all good because the lid that I used wasn't completely sealed. Ooh, that color at the end there. What did I use in here? I used, who was there? I used white, obviously. I think that green at the bottom is because I used gold. But of course, you can't see any of the gold in there now. But I used gold and turquoise. The hot pink, I used some Merlot. Whoop. And I think I said royal purple, but I don't know. Okay, I want some of that, I want more of that lightness in here, so I'm gonna run it back down this way a lot. I'm gonna just kind of super tilt here. Okay, that's pretty. So tilting's a personal thing, but I really liked this super delicate area down here. So I wanted to kind of expand that. I almost want to expand it even a little more. But I was worried people would get upset by me running this part off. I'm gonna go a little more. Don't get sad. It'll be worth it. I just really like those colors. Okay, there. Yeah. Okay. I think that's perfect. Do it. Do it. So that's a leftover paint pour. Oh no, look at me. Did you see that? I don't even know how I did that. Okay. Now I gotta scooch this one out of the way. And we'll use those other colors. So the next one will have a lot more green in it. Just remodel here. And if any of you didn't catch my Facebook Live that I just did, I did some really cool, I finished up some really cool resin projects. I did these coaster guys, and then I did some dominoes. Dab that dot. I'm kind of hoping it'll just run itself off, but I don't know. We'll see. If it doesn't seem to be running itself off, I might have to. Uh-oh. Yeah, that didn't work out as well as I thought it would. That's okay. Some of the it's okay. All right. We have enough space here. I might move the camera a little bit. Okay. At least saved my plastic for most of the paint. So that's good. And then I have a really pretty paper underneath here. Yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that spot off. There we go. I got it. I got it. All right. Reset the stage. And those dominoes glow in the dark, by the way. Okay, I have this paint. I'm gonna use this paper. I'm gonna do, this is a 9x12 canvas, so that will fit nicely on here. That last canvas was a 7x14, kind of a funky size, but I liked it. Hey, Brandy. So let's raise this one up also. And let me see what I have in my magic bag of tricks over here. Please hold. I think I might do a bottle bottom. I don't have a spinner, but I can tilt like a bad woman. Ooh. Or, no. Hold on. Where's my bottle bottom? All right, let's do something fun. These are not fall colors at all. And don't worry, I'm going to adjust the camera. But let's pour over a pine cone because it's almost fall. And why not? All right. Scooch this over like this. There we go. Front and center, nice and clear. Okay. So we have this paint left over in here. We have the paint I just mixed up. And we have this other leftover paint. So yeah. Let's see how this goes. And guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Feel free to super chat or super sticker. Every little bit helps. If any of those requests upset you, feel free to not be here. That's okay too. Actually, though, I've got a lot of like the Merlot and this green here. So I think I have to tilt this a little bit. Could turn it the other direction, but that'd be way too easy. All right. I'm also have attention on the fact that I'm losing a little bit of light. So we're gonna pour this white in here. Let's just kind of layer these other colors a bit. So somebody do the math for me here. How much paint do I need for a 9 by 12? Pinecone was one of your favorite classes? Me too. So this cup's got a lot of Merlot and purple, but it's got a little turquoise and other colors. And anything left in these cups, I'm just going to put back into that cup and save it for later. I feel like that should be enough. I'm going to put probably the rest of this white in here. And the pine cone should be reusable. So I can do another pour with fall colors. All right. Did anybody math for me? No. Let me grab my calculator. I had never used 9 by 12. 9 by 12. 6.75? Okay. I believe yes. Yep. 6.75. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. So these cups are 9 ounces. So this is definitely plenty. That should be about right by my estimations. All right, now this pine cone's not sitting flat. Ooh, that's actually pretty flat. Let's go. It's gonna create this cool design. Nope, I didn't think it was gonna stay. Oh no! Okay, I didn't think that was gonna happen. That's never happened. All right, sir. You are messing up my experiment. I might have to hold it here. Hopefully my fingers won't mess with the design too much. Oh my gosh, that was funny. Now you guys probably remember, but I pretty much always put white on the bottom of my pours or in my cups. So there's white on the bottom here. Let's let that drain down. No, Marcy. Pine cones are fun. If you guys haven't done it yet, do it. You never know what you're going to get because there's no way to have to the exact same, like you can't pour over a pine cone the same way. So it'd be impossible to duplicate it. How I estimate the paint is I do the sides of the canvas, I multiply those, and then I divide by 16. So yeah, it's essentially 1 ounce for every 16 square inches. Boop, boop. That's almost like a balloon smash in the middle. There you go, Veronica. Okay. Well, let this guy sit at an angle and drain over here a little bit. These are semi-earthy colors. Did you wash the pine cone first? Nope. That probably would have been logical, but no. It wasn't super dirty, though. I didn't, like, dig it out of the ground or anything. It was just sitting on top. So, it's pretty clean. This might not even be quite enough paint. I might not have even had that many ounces as I thought. So I might have to put a little, let's put a little extra over here. Just so we don't have to stretch too much. We've got some nice cells forming over here. Now, as a note, I typically like to mix my paint up and then let it sit overnight, or at least for a few hours, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of air bubbles in it, which will help you to get like cells, but they're kind of like the pinhole cells. So they're not my favorite. Nothing wrong with them, but I prefer the bigger cells usually if I want to get cells. So, but since we just mixed up that white, we're going to have a decent amount of little air bubble cells in here. Okay. Yeah, these colors are pretty. I don't disagree. I wish my lighting was better. I'm sorry about that, guys. Kind of gotta work with what you have, you know? Ooh, ah. I actually really like this. All right, it's got a little more white than I anticipated. Whoopsie daisy. That's okay. Okay, kind of missed a corner over here. Whoops. Okay. Let me make sure I got all my corners and sides. And then I'm going to bring you guys in for a close-up on both of these, okay? Oh yeah, for you awesome YouTube peoples, I extended my Labor Day sale to Friday. So if you didn't get in on that yet, do so. You can use the code WORK for 7% off site-wide. So that's on pouring medium, on resin, on pouring paint, on slick cups, bottle bottoms, no, not artwork, you name it, but site-wide. And then you can use the code MOVING for 20% off of courses and artwork, okay? And turn this light on. It is a yellow light, so it's going to affect the color a little bit. There's a spooky face. See this line here too? That's where I accidentally drug paint across. This was the center, like where the pine cone was sitting. Gave that interesting reaction. And a lot of white in here. It's going to shake. No silicone. I don't know if you guys saw my feet. I'm not wearing any shoes. Okay. I actually really like that green. It's actually really pretty. Not bad for some pretty cheap paint. Nice delicate lines in here. Look at that. And we do have some little cells popping up. Like I said, those are kind of those almost like pinhole cells from the air bubbles. I'm not mad at it at all. I like it. And came out a little more earthy than I even anticipated. I love, love, love this one though. Yeah, shoes are overrated. I think I need to touch up this corner a little bit better, but Jenny, I will definitely have paint there. But the sale's going on right now, so it's a good time to snag anything if you need it. I really like this. Like it's almost got that, those kind of like ghost colors in there, you know? Where they're, I don't even know how to explain it, but they're not fully, this almost looks like a shell. It reminds me of a shell. Super pretty. Yeah. Not mad at it at all. There you go. Almost a peacock green. Yeah, totally. And I do have a little bit of it left, so I'll put it into this cup for later. Here's the cup in the light. You can see, oh, you can actually see the gold in there. The purple, I think I poured at least most of the turquoise out, if not all of it, but That's pretty in itself. All right, guys. So that is all we have for tonight. Does anyone have any last minute questions before I head out? Going once, going twice. And make sure you're following me on all social media platforms for all the live videos. Drifting snow with color. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, you guys have a fantastic night and a fantastic rest of your week. Bye, guys.